Hey Flow viewers, we're still here in Santorini this time. Got my main man, Jesse La Flair. You might have seen him on YouTube. He's got quite a big following right now. Is La Flair your real surname?
Yeah, it's my real last name.
That's a pretty awesome name. That's a very good. And you moved to like LA how many years ago now?
3 years.
3 years ago. That's a good name to move to LA already with. Most people move there and then they'll change it to something like La Flair.
It's so good. Most people think it's fake.
Yeah.
They're like, oh well, that's clearly fake. Whatever. No, it's
That's
not.
cool. Where did you move from? Where were you before?
I was born and raised in New York. I grew up on Long Island, went to school upstate New York, and then lived in Manhattan for like 3.5 years.
Oh, cool. And so when did you discover free running? Was that your first passion, or did you do hobbies before that?
No, before I did free running or found parkour and free running, I was into extreme sports, everything and anything that allowed me to sort of fly or float or get that thrill. So I sort of stuck with one of them, which was aggressive inline skating, and I kind of took that pretty seriously, and was doing that even through college. And then in college I found a couple of dudes jumping around, and I was like, what are you guys doing? I was able to do a backflip at the time, so I threw a huge backflip off of a ledge. They're like, that's not what we're doing, and they were like pretty purists. So they were like, A to B, overcoming obstacles, mental, physical.
Yeah. But did you think you were cooler at the time because you could like do a big backflip? Because in a way that's like, it's cooler to most people.
Yeah. No, it was.
But
cool,
to the trained free runner like you, the parkourists,
No, it was. I think it actually caught. I was more interested in what they had to say.
Yeah. Because you're an open-minded individual. You were okay.
They're like, it's more than just that.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Okay. Yeah. That's cool that it caught you. That's a good mindset to come in with. And so, how long were you training for? Was that in New York then?
Yeah, that was still upstate New York, and then I moved to Manhattan. And at that point, I was only training for like a year or two. Then I got to Manhattan and saw how serious those guys were about conditioning and things like that. And I was like, whoa, take it easy, man. So I kind of just trained alone, but I trained with some of the New York guys quite a bit. Kind of on and off until I started going to a gym called 5 Star. 5 Star.
I went there very recently. Met Leon. What a very nice guy.
Good stuff. Yeah, those guys were really good, and they were sort of into the sport, and we were allowed to go do open gym, and that's where I sort of learned a little bit more about the free running side of things, palm flips, all that stuff. Really birthed within that gym for me.
Cool. When you say you discovered it, you saw these guys doing it. Did you then look back and watch any of the films, the documentaries, or anything?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, at that point, YouTube's just starting, so I jumped online and started looking up videos. I think the most influential video for me was Oleg's video. It's just like I thought you were going to say that.
Russian climber?
Yeah. Russian climber, or was it Timeout? No,
Out of Time.
Out of Time. Like, at the Out of Time video, like, fuck, that like...
There's a new chapter, right? It like birthed a new...
shaped me, like, mentally, like, that's what I want to be able to do. I want to be able to move in, like, this really fluid, creative...
So cool.
It's so powerful. Bar work, all that. Like, yes, that's what I want.
It's amazing how many people mention Oleg. Not surprisingly, I mention him all the time as like one of the biggest influences. I feel sad for him sometimes because I don't know if he realizes that, that he's how inspiring to other people he is. Yeah,
I mean, he's an interesting dude. I met him a few times. I actually just saw him at the WPF camp in Switzerland.
Oh, he was there.
They had him
great.
as a guest coach. He's super friendly, of course. But then, like, when it came to moving, he just kind of sat down.
But it's the passion changes when I think he's looked up to so much that as soon as he starts to move, everyone's like, and that puts a pressure on him that takes away from, the reason he does it in the first place, which isn't for people to watch it. It's because it feels it from within, and he's not doing it for the without,
Nah, definitely. But I think like that's where for me, I have a decent amount of young viewers, and when they do see me at like Tempest Freerunning Academy and things like that, I feel that pressure, like what I do is going to matter, is going to affect what they think of me. But for me, it's like that's why I want to move. Like, I'm going to continue to do what I do. Because they can see, all right, this is who he really is.
It's a good way to look at it, and that's just different perceptions, isn't it? But that's I agree with you. Like, you speak to them, and then they want to see you, and you want to help inspire them because it could be it will be a positive influence on their life. So you want to do that. That's really cool. So why did you move to LA?
So in New York, I actually booked a free running job on Kodak film. So they flew me up to upstate New York, Rochester, for like 5 days. Like this whole character, it was like kind of acting and free running, and it was like this short film sort of thing they were doing, essentially an extended commercial. So the whole thing was about my character heading to the city and finding the circus and then schooling the guys at the circus with some crazy shit and then
Cool.
leaving, and that was it. But after I got home and I had some money in my pocket, it wasn't even I'll say it was $3,000 for 5 days of work.
Yeah,
Which sounds great when you're first starting off.
Oh, amazing. Yeah,
At this point in your life, you realize, all right, you can get more than that. But, so it was a great thing, and I was like, holy crap, this is what I want to do.
Yeah. How do I pursue it? Yeah.
Collaborating in such a big film, the filmmaker his name was Freddie Murphy.
Okay.
Fred Murphy. He's the guy that shot like The Secret Window with Johnny Depp, Freddy vs. Jason, like pretty big movies. So you're working with this guy. You know, he's like giving you tips. I don't know. That was it for me. All right, I want to do film. I want to just get to LA with a scene you can train all day, every day for every day of the year. You know?
Yeah. And you're a married man?
I am. Yeah, I'm married.
When did that? Was that in New York or was that?
That was
LA?
that was in New York, and then we moved to LA.
Okay.
And she's an actress, so that was part of like the thing. Like, let's go.
Someone to do it with. Okay, that's great.
She's a legit actress. I'm just stunts and commercials and that. But, no, so that definitely had a big thing to do. And we got married 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But we've been dating since 9th grade, so it's been like 13 and a half years.
That's amazing, man. That's a really good story. And so now you became a part of Tempest. How did that come about? Did you move to LA and you want that? Was that a goal for you, or was it just it happened naturally?
No, it was a goal without being a goal.
Yeah.
Like
it wasn't a forced thing,
I showed up and was like, all right, I'm in LA. Like the main guys I should be focused on trying to train with is Tempest.
Cool.
They're the best guys in town, you know, or some of the best guys in the country, right?
Yeah.
USA. So. It's without a doubt I need to get involved with them. And then sure enough, they were opening the Tempest Freerunning Academy. Yeah. And I was like, gotta get a job there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in town, I need a job, I'm working there. So oddly enough, I went in on there before the grand opening and shot my video, the Tempest Freerunning Academy video that I did by myself. And just went in one day, shot as much stuff as I could, tried to beast out. Yeah. And then released it before they even got up their gym video. And it was kind of looking back, it's kind of a dick thing to do. And they actually straight up told me, like, yeah, we looked at you like an asshole. But at the same time, it also got their attention. Yeah. So, not that negative attention is always the best, but it's still attention.
It's a start, better than no attention. Yeah.
So then I applied for a job.
And you can switch it around, and turn it into positive. Good. That's cool.
You got to see what I was able to do before I even walked in and if I could coach. So.
And your YouTube channel is quite successful now. How many subscribers are you on?
I'm probably, at this point, going to be at like 140,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're feasting up there. And you do a range of things on there. You do tutorials, you do cool videos, you do like blogs and things, right?
Yeah, I think the main thing that got my audience was the tutorials, because I set out to create tutorials that were detailed enough that can coach anyone and everyone to be able to do it. So starting like slow and low and then working your way up, right?
Yeah.
Progression.
Yeah.
And I try to do that for each move that I do. So that really helped build the audience, and then within building that audience, I was able to put out cool videos here and there that they're inspired by or
within that. So. Cool. At the moment, you're in Santorini, but this is the end. Was it the end of the? You've been traveling around Europe for a while, right?
This is the new end.
The new end.
The European tour was actually supposed to end. I guess it was supposed to end in Sweden because
at the air whip competition.
At the very beginning of the tour, Marcus hit up Corey and asked if both of us would be interested in competing this year. Of course, we said yes. So we went on this crazy 3-week European tour. Hit massive events like Crap Invaders, WPF Camp, Fam Jam. Got to do some work with Farang at the Red Bull Wings Academy in Germany. And then we hit Sweden, and that competition was just crazy.
Yeah. How do you do in that?
I took third.
Congratulations, man. That's a tough competition as well.
Yeah, it was. There's some big names attached to that, lots of talent, and still to this day I'm sort of surprised. Like, I just did what I wanted to do, and
it's the best way.
Apparently that was impressive enough to put me in third. So
that's great.
The best part about that was that it also qualified me to come to Santorini.
Boom.
So the tour got extended, and then sure enough, Corey Myers went to qualifiers and took first at qualifiers. So now he's in.
So he's in as well.
So the tour continues.
Cool. Is that tour footage out yet, or is it coming out?
No, it'll definitely be coming out
on your channel.
We got like 500.
On yours or Tempest?
Gigabytes. No, it's probably going to be released somewhat on mine. We'll see. It'll be, you'll know.
Cool.
Stay in touch on Facebook.
Yeah. You'll see it. Check it out. Have you got Facebook?
Oh, of course. course, yeah.
Of course.
I got
What's your...
my personal page? You can follow that, do that stuff. But there's also just Jesse La Flair fan
Jesse
page.
La Flair. LAFLAIR.
Yeah, LAFLAIR.
Cool. Aside from the free running though, what are your hobbies? A little birdie told me you like painting. Are you a pretty good painter?
So I went to school for art. I wanted to be an artist. That's why we moved to New York, so that I can pursue that.
From what age? From young?
Yeah, like high school areas, like where I started to realize like art could be my thing, and I really wanted to focus on that creative outlet. So I went to school for it, and I did really well. Even before I graduated, I had shown in like 13 different countries, video pieces, sound pieces, paintings, things like that.
Yeah.
So moving to New York, it just kind of elevated it more. I got into a couple galleries, started to sell paintings there. But really, it was like once I booked that free running job and I realized that I can potentially live off of something as amazing and as fun and as creative outlet as free running. Yeah, that was it.
That's cool that like all free runners have like a different passion before coming into this. I've never met someone that was like an artist. Can we see some of your work? Is it on Google, on Facebook, on?
Yeah, I don't know where you can see it. It's out there.
It's out there. Yeah. If we search your name, we'll find it.
If you search it, maybe hit art or something, you can see paintings and things like
Amazing. I'd love to see some. That's really cool. Is there anything else now do you still paint now, or is there any other?
Every once in a while, I'll just be like, all right.
Motivated,
I'm going, because in my garage I have all my paintings hanging, and I have my paints, and it's a place where I could paint, but I've literally only done it like twice in the last 3 years. Every once in a while, I'll jump in there. Some bottle of wine, some music, and just go at it.
Yeah, that's cool. Let the spirit flow through you, eh? Yeah, that's really cool. And moving forwards, what are your aims? Because free running, we can take it any direction we want right now with the position we're in, and you're establishing yourself. Where do you want to take it? Where do you want to take yourself within it?
So I'm in a really good position in terms of audience, things like that. Yeah. So at this point, it's about building something. Corey DeMeyers is sort of my partner in this stuff, so we've decided to build a company, and I don't know how much I should really talk about it at this point, but the main goal of it is to help out all the teams and to be in a position, hopefully in the future, where we can sponsor people to go to the events that we just went to or come compete in Santorini. So for us, it's really about figuring out a way and securing a position where we can still be financially okay, but still be heavily involved in free running.
That's really cool, and I think I may have received an email from Storm about said team's involvement. Nice. Yeah, that's really cool. And aside from that, you want to keep doing stuff with Tempest? Were you involved with the Tempest Games?
You know, we were on tour for that.
So you missed it.
I was involved heavily for the preparation. We did a test run last year. That went really well. But no, we were actually away. We were 2 days away from coming home, so we missed the actual competition. But
that sounded exciting. The Pro Takeover.
Yeah.
Did you have involvement in that?
Corey's the main man for that. He really set up everything. This year, obviously being on tour and coming up with an athlete list of who we'd like to see this year, actually be invited, is going to be really difficult because we met so many amazing people with so much amazing talent. Yeah. So we'll see. Cool.
We're in Santorini about to compete. By the time this video goes out, it will be over. So any predictions? We can see. I'm going to do this for everyone. We'll see who's the closest. Any predictions for the comp?
In terms of placement?
1, 2, 3 if you can.
I'll go with me in first, Corey DeMeyers in second, and Pasha in third.
Yeah?
Maybe.
All right, we'll take it, man. You gotta dream it, right?
Hopes, man.
That's good, man. Yeah, rep Tempest, man. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something about Jesse today. Please subscribe to his channel if you're not already. I'm sure he's got very much the same overlap of viewers, but if not, check his out. Check his Facebook. Stay with Flo. We got more interviews coming from Santorini. We got other stuff coming out. As always, I'm just traveling, filming, having fun, enjoying life. The sun is out, man. I just want to stay in Santorini for another few weeks because it's raining in England right now. You're all right. You get to go back to LA.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Bye, guys.